Hi, Lake Erie Council. I'm so excited to be back with you today. Today, I have Rosie and Lori here with us to do the cast iron chef. Hey, Rosie, what troop are you with?
55.
55? Awesome. And what grade are you in?
5th.
5th grade? I'm excited for today. But first off, we're going to start with the pledge and the Scout Oath and Law. Rosie, can you help me with that? Okay, take it away.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next.
On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thank you so much, Rosie. That was wonderful. So first thing we're going to start with today is we're going to take a recap to yesterday because we had some fun science going on. Show you what's happening with our science experiments. So this was our glue and our soap experiment. It's still drying, but it's made pretty colors. What do you think, Rosie?
Cool.
Awesome. Once it fully dries, we can get it off. And then we also have as Jared said yesterday, there was what would it do if we froze the color layering experiment? And if you can you see it, Rosie and Lori?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How cool. It actually made the colors more vibrant once I froze it. So I think that was a fun experiment yesterday. So we're going to start our day and talk a little bit about cast iron chef. So the requirements we're going to go over are, between Rosie and I, we planned a meal for each part of the day, a balanced meal, and then determine the budget. And then also, we couldn't go out to shop like normal. However, Rosie went on to Walmart.com and she was able to look at the different things and the prices on there. And then we're going to prepare some of those meals. And we are going to demonstrate some and talk about some food safety practices. And we're going to end up with working on learning how to build a fire. So some of the things that we're going to take away from this is making healthy food choices, food safety, the proper way to build a fire, planning and managing a budget, and a Scout is trustworthy and thrifty. So we're going to see how that is incorporated into what we're talking about. Are you ready to get started, Rosie?
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing we're going to do, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them down and below. We'll be happy to and excited to talk to you guys. But now we're going to start with our balanced meal. So breakfast, we're going to have eggs in a bag, which consists of eggs. What do you think what food group's that in, Rosie? Is it the protein?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And we're going to have some milk, and then we're going to put some bacon bits in. That's pretty tasty. And then some cheese. Do you know what that food group is?
Dairy.
Yeah, some cheese and some vegetables, and then a little dash of salt and pepper. And to go along with that, we'll have a fruit salad with apples and oranges and some grapes and some bananas, and a biscuit to top it off. Do you know what group of the biscuits in?
Green.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Next off, we're going to have Rosie. She worked on the lunch. Can you tell us about the lunch?
Yes. I'm going to make a sandwiches with a fruit cut for lunch. My budget was $20. One loaf of white bread is 88 cents. A package of American cheese slices is $3.97. One package of turkey breast is $3.28. A box of fruit cups is $5.98. My total for these items came to $14.11. And it's $1.78 per person.
How many sandwiches can you make?
I can make 9 lunches.
9 lunches. Wow. That's wonderful. So you can get quite a lot of meals out of that one set of food. Okay. Is that it for lunch, Rosie?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to dinner, and we're going to do Dutch oven pizza with pizza dough, sauce, cheese, meats, vegetables. And then we're going to have some salad so we can have some vegetables in there. With salad, carrots, some croutons, and dressing. We're going to end the night with, what do you think we're going to end the night for dessert, Rosie?
S'mores.
S'mores. You can't have it camp out without s'mores, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you how to do a souped up version of s'mores. Awesome. So when you were shopping, Rosie, do you know how to be thrifty?
You can look for deals and brand names.
Store brands, so versus the name brands, right? So what about loaves of bread? I heard you went to the store the other day and maybe a while ago, but you went to the store and looked at the breads. Can you tell me a little difference between the breads?
Yes. The Walmart bread was a whole loaf for 88 cents, but the Schwebel's bread was a loaf that was a little smaller, and it was almost $2.
Wow, that's a big difference. Mm-hmm. So that's a great way to be thrifty. And then, so the processed food, the pre-packaged, do you think that making something from scratch could maybe be cheaper than if you just bought the processed pre-made food?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And one other way is if you compare the prices between, you can get vegetables and fruits in a variety of ways, but there's fresh, canned, and frozen. So you can look to see which one of those is the best value. Okay. So we're going to move on, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about food safety practices. I was talking to Rosie just the other day, and she was really knows her food safety practices because she was just going over it in her, was it your troop meeting the other day?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Working on our cooking merit badge.
Cooking merit badge. Oh, so this is perfect for you. Awesome. So the first one, what do you think is the very first food safety practice, Rosie?
Wash your hands.
Yep, wash your hands and surfaces frequently. And so, how do you wash your hands?
Soap and water.
Mm-hmm. For at least 20 seconds. Do you do it just before or do you do it after handling food?
Both.
Both, correct. Awesome. Now, what about, are you supposed to wash with your utensils and your cutting boards and your countertops?
Definitely.
Yes. So you should use hot soapy water, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you do it just once or do you do it in between everything that's different?
In between.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to do what our next point is, which would be, do you know what it is?
Cross-contamination.
You're correct. So can you tell me what cross-contamination is, Rosie?
Yes. When, say, someone's allergic to something, and then they use the same knife or utensil, and then they go and do it something else, or the opposite. I forgot.
So you got to make sure that, say you have meat, poultry, seafood, eggs, they're separate from each other, and other foods when you're in the grocery cart or bags or the refrigerator or even the ice chest when you're on a trip, right? And you never want to place cooked food on a plate with what?
Raw.
Correct, because it could make somebody sick. What do you think the next one is? What about temperatures?
Oh, you need to keep warmer stuff away from hot, cold stuff, and keep cold stuff in a cold thing when you're going to a picnic or something. For example, if you have potato salad, you need to have it in a cooler to go to a picnic.
But if you have a hot salad, then you would make sure that it's in an insulated container, which they recommend filling it with hot water for a few minutes and then emptying and putting the hot food in there. What about thawing food? You know how to thaw food properly?
You need to keep it cold, and then when you're ready for it, then you need to take it out.
That's right. And when you're trying to thaw the food, you never do it at room temperature. You put it in the refrigerator with what kind of water?
Cold?
Yep, cold water. And then you could also use the microwave oven too. And should you wait or cook it right away once you've done the thawing process?
Cook it right away?
Yep, you gotta cook it right away. Good job. Okay. And what about cooking to a proper temperature? Is that important?
Yes.
Because, and how do you know it's cooked to the proper temperature?
If
What about a thermometer?
a thermometer. Okay.
Do you know where to put it in your food to figure out what the temperature is?
Middle.
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you want to put it on the end?
Because there's not much food there.
Usually the middle is the thicker part, right? Yeah. And it's the last part to actually get cooked.
Like turkey.
And usually cookbooks, they'll tell you what the correct temperature is for different items. Or in this day and age, you could also go on the internet and look up to see, oh, chicken versus pork versus beef and all that, right? Cool. Okay. So we're going to start cooking. You ready to start cooking?
Yep.
Rosie? Awesome. So I'm going to start with breakfast first.
Okay.
And then we're going to do lunch. And then we're going to do dinner. So today we're going to actually cook in the kitchen. However, all of these can be done outside. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can do it outside. So first thing we're going to do you remember what we're going to make, Rosie?
Eggs.
Eggs in a bag. You are correct. So what do I do first, Rosie?
Wash your hands.
Yes. So we're going to put some water on it, and then how long at least?
20 seconds.
You can also
While you're washing your hands there, Brittany,
Yeah.
while you're washing your hands there, I want to share some welcomes to some folks that are watching along with us. So welcome to Brian Garrett, to Jess Weaver, to the Quinton family, Jesse Grabowski, and Mark Raphael. And Brian says, great job, Rosie.
Mr. Garrett from 68.
Oh,
Thank you guys for coming and watching and being with us today. So I washed my hands off first, and I have a garbage bin. I'm not. Should I touch the garbage with my hands after I washed them?
No.
No, not at all. So we're gonna get our bag out, and you have to make sure that when you get the bag, that it's actually able to go in the water. I had to watch specifically to look to make sure I found the right bag. And then I did a little testing too. So next, we're going to go to my refrigerator, and we're going to pull out my ingredients. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Rachel Ray, but she was one of my favorites as a kid. And she always did the thing where she tried to carry as much as at one time as possible. I made it a little simpler today, and I bought myself some baskets. But we're going to start off. First, I'm going to have to put the heat on.
I think you left the fridge open.
Oh, maybe I did. Well, it's the garbage. So first thing we're going to do is turn on the stove so that it can boil. Now, Rosie, how do you think you could do this outside?
You could use put some a tray as a campfire. You could put a tall a cookie sheet kind of, but it's not really a cushion sheet. It's like a bar, and then put the pan on top of that.
Okay. So you could use a jet boil. Do you know what so a jet boil is kind of it's a method of cooking. And then you could use that egg cracked weird. 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna put 1 egg in there. You could put more than 1 egg in if you wanted. What am I gonna do now, Rosie?
Wash your hands.
Yes. Why am I washing my hands?
Because you touched something raw.
Yep. And then I'm going to touch something else. Okay. So, after I do that, what do you think I should add to my eggs, Rosie?
Pepper.
Pepper, salt. Okay. So I have my little penguin salt and pepper shakers.
Cool.
But with the salt, you gotta be careful because it comes out relatively fast.
All salt does that.
And then what else should I add? I've got cheese and bacon.
Veggies.
Bacon?
Yeah.
Anybody tell us what food group the bacon belongs in?
So we're gonna put a little bit of bacon in. And then, so did you know that what about cheese? Do you think some cheese?
Yeah.
That baking and cooking are different because cooking, you can be a little bit less accurate with it. You still need to be semi-accurate. But baking, do you know what happens if you aren't precise with baking? Whatever you're trying to make can turn into something completely different.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't know if you meant baking or cooking. Because baking is something else than cooking.
So there's lots of different things in baking, but you have to actually have some really strong techniques and follow the directions. Letter T or it'll come out not like you're looking for. I put a little bit of green pepper in there. You like green pepper, Rosie?
I never tasted it.
Never had green pepper?
You
Oh,
have,
yeah.
you mean parsley? No, green peppers.
Oh! Yeah.
Julia Hearn says that the bacon belongs in the best food group, all things pork. And Ben from North Ridgeville says hi, and the Quintons say they have cooked eggs in a bag before.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna put a little onions. Do you like onions, Rosie?
No, I do not.
Not at all? Okay. Add a little flavor. So when we make it for you, next time we won't put onions in it, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. And the last thing we're gonna do is I kind of cheated a little bit. I bought the it's the milk. I bought the pre-cut up onions and peppers, but you could cut up your own. Just gonna put a little dab in there. We'll put these recipes up online in the next day or so after this, so if anybody wants to follow along, they can. And everything in this one, in this recipe, I had at my house. So make sure before you start squishing the eggs around, what should I do, Rosie?
Close the bag.
Yep. What do you think will happen if I don't close the bag?
It will splash out and get everywhere.
Everywhere. I don't want to clean up everything. I don't know about you, but that's not one of my favorite things to do. Then you squish, 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 right?
Mix it.
Squish it. Okie dokie. Next. What's my next step, Rosie?
Cook it.
Yeah, it's cook it. Okay, so we are going to cook it. Is my water boiling yet? Not quite. Give it another minute or so. Oh. 1 second.
Hello to Dan Burris, who just joined us. And even though you don't like green onions there, Rosie, Thaddeus Quinton says he loves them. So he'll take them from you.
That's awesome. We're gonna give it another minute or so, and then we'll add it in. But while we're waiting for that to heat up, guess what else are we doing with it for breakfast? What else we're doing for breakfast, Rosie?
She forgot.
Right? We are making biscuits.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in order to make biscuits in my cast iron pan, and if you were to do this at a camp out or something, you could do it in your cast iron. All you have to do is just put it on the coals and then heat it up.
Like
And
that.
it'll work the same. Excuse me. There we go. We'll let it sit there for a second. So that's pretty simple, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to put all of this stuff back in the fridge. Why would I need to put it back in the fridge, Rosie?
So it because the temperature.
Yeah, so we make sure everything stays at the correct temperature. Okay. Oops, knocking stuff over. Okie dokie. What's the last thing we're gonna make for breakfast? Do you remember? We're gonna make fruit salad.
I thought of that, but I wasn't sure. I thought that was for dinner.
No, we're gonna make fruit salad for breakfast.
We're gonna have a vegetable salad for dinner.
That in there for now. Start my timer because there's so much going on here. Let it sit there. And now before I make my fruit salad, what should I do?
Wash your hands.
Yes, and what else should I wash?
The fruit.
Fruit. What about this? Should I wash my cutting board?
Yep.
Here Yeah, first. So we're gonna wash our cutting board with some soap because I had some egg on it. Real quick. Maybe a little soap goes a long way. I put too much soap on there. What's your favorite foods, Rosie?
I like chicken gum. That's the dinner thing, though.
You like what?
Chicken gum.
Mm. What about you, Lori? What's your favorite foods?
Noodles.
I like Mexican food, but I always go for a good steak on the grill too.
Okay. So now we've cleaned off our tray, our cutting board. My water gets really hot. So
That's a good thing, right?
yes, except for it burns me sometimes. So I'm gonna wash my hands again. Real good, all around. Okay. And I'm going to try not to touch the handles again after I've washed them. And then we're gonna do our fruit salad. So what do you want in your fruit salad, Rosie?
Grapes.
What?
Grapes.
Grapes, okay. Okay, we're gonna have some grapes. And I pre-washed all of my fruit. So it would be dry when I did it. So we're gonna cut it up. You don't have to cut your fruit if you don't want to. But
Yeah, I don't like cutting my grapes. I'll cut the other stuff.
let me check over here on our biscuits because you know what I did last time? I
Burn them.
burnt them. Almost. Still a little bit more time on that one side. Okay. So back to the fruit salad.
Yep.
Okay. I've got red and green grapes.
Ooh. I like purple. I like all grapes. I don't care. They don't taste any different.
They don't taste any different to you? You know what I like to do with my grapes? I like to put them in the freezer. And they are a nice snack in the nighttime or during the day. If I'm hungry, I just grab a handful of frozen grapes. They taste really good. Okay, so I've got grapes. What should we put next in our handy dandy
Apples.
apples? Okay. So let's do some apples. Oops. Okay. I cut them into quarters or little slices. And now I'm going to cut them into little pieces. When I cut, I try to keep the end of my knife down so that I have more control over the knife. So my timer went off. I'm going to finish the apples real quick because
You always have to have an adult with a knife?
yes, very much so. Always have an adult with a knife. So now we're going to check on these.
I like to have watermelon in my fruit salad. I don't know if you have that, though.
I love watermelon too. However, there wasn't any last time I went to the store.
I also like, cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe? I like cantaloupe.
Strawberries.
How about bananas? Do you like bananas?
I don't really have that because they're a little mushy and they're not like the rest of them are cold. But I'm okay with it.
Okay. Let's put a few bananas in here. My grandma's actually allergic to bananas, so we can't always put bananas in our stuff. So we have to watch when we're making stuff for different people in our family, making sure that we take into account all that.
I'm not allergic to anything.
You're not alert meat. Oh, you know, that's a awesome thing. I am not allergic to most things. I just have a sensitivity to certain things, which is awesome because I don't have as much issues as if I was allergic to it. Okay, you are correct. Those are a little mush. Those are a little
Mushy.
mushy. What about blueberries? What about? Do you think?
Oh yes.
Okay, let's see if I can open it. Maybe.
I don't think you can even cut those.
Nah, we're not going to cut the blueberries. And then let's check these so I don't burn them again. Yeah, oh, those look good. Missing it. The camera's missing it. Okay, they are toasty. And we should finish off this little salad with some strawberries.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Those are the berries part.
Yep.
Strawberries and blueberries.
Okay.
Some
So,
people say grapes are fruit. Some people say grapes a berry. I say grapes a berry.
berries. Okay. So we're almost done with breakfast. Are you almost ready once I'm finished so you can start lunch?
Okay.
Okay, we'll put these berries in. I'll pull out the thing that just peaked. Let you go. Okay. Want to start washing your hands?
Okay.
Okay. So Rosie's going to wash her hands. And we're going to check on our eggs. Nice. About a minute more and we'll be done. So we'll clean up our mess here. We'll grab a spoon and we'll mix up our fruit salad. It's colorful, right? What do you think? Really colorful.
Oh, that's yummy.
We like to eat things that are colorful to our eyes, right? Okay, I'm gonna check on our biscuits. They're getting brown. So almost there. And I'm gonna walk over and get my plates for today.
Can I see the fruit salad?
So I've got my bowl and my plate from my mess kit. I'm gonna put some fruit salad in my bowl. And we're going to put, oh man, I really like blueberries, don't I? Put some fruit salad. And then we'll come over here and we're going to get our eggs from there. We're going to let it cool for just a second before we touch it. And we're going to check on our biscuits. And while we're doing that, Rosie, you want to start making lunch?
Okay.
Milo Quinton says, blueberries.
Yes.
Getting it.
Okay, you're up.
And here's the bread.
Awesome. So you've got your plate and you have your clean work surface.
Now we're going to get some cheese.
And I even put on my apron today, my special apron with my name.
Cool. What are you doing, Rosie? Putting on next.
I'm putting on cheese.
Awesome. So we've got some cheese. What kind of cheese is that?
That is American.
American. Okay.
putting on turkey. Turkey breast.
Turkey breast. Do you like any other kind of meats? Turkey, ham, chicken?
Yep. And then another slice of cheese. It's a little hard to get open.
A little hard.
And then another slice of bread. And you're done.
And you're done. Cool. So that's your main dish. What goes along with that?
The fruit salad. A fruit cup.
A fruit cup?
I always have to make sure to put the trash away. And put stuff back in the refrigerator.
Okay. So you've got your bread and your fruit and your cheese and what else do we have there? Your protein.
Yep.
Awesome. See, why do we want to have a quick lunch when we're camping and things like that, Rosie?
Because, like, if you can put it in, like, a bag and you'll go on a hike.
On a hike?
You have more time.
Yeah, so you can have some more time while you're having because sometimes when you're having too much fun, you forget to go back and start lunch, right? And you miss out on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what would you have to drink with your lunch?
I usually have Gatorade, but it's good to have water.
Yes, well, we got to stay hydrated, right? Okay. Nice. Okie dokie. Well, lunch is done. Breakfast is done. And then we're going to move on to our last meal of the day.
Okay. Dinner.
Dinner, you're correct. So I mixed it around a little bit and I put it back in the water just so it cooks a little bit longer. But this is our final product for breakfast. Rosie, so we've got our vegetable, our fruit, what's the biscuit from?
Green.
Yep, our eggs, and it has a vegetable, a protein, it's protein, and it has dairy, right?
Yep.
So we've hit a lot of the food groups. So now we're going to put that away, and we're going to move on to our final. So we're going to move on to my favorite, I would say, is our pizza. Yay.
Oh, yay!
So there's a couple ways you can do. There's a couple ways you can do your pizza. Today, we're going to do it one way, but I'll show you another way to do it. In between this, real quick. We're not really going to cut anything, cut anything up. Because it's all pre-cut up for us. Okay, so you have two options for your pizza. You have today your pizza crust, which is the classic where you push your fingers and you cook it and it's the Pillsbury version. However, today we're going to work with Mama Mary's original crusts. I enjoy those quite well. So, you know what a Mama Mary's pizza crust is, Rosie?
No.
It is just a round pizza crust that comes par baked. So I'm going to put it on my plate here.
And that is green.
And then I'm going to take my pizza sauce, right? You can use any kind of pizza sauce. We've got Ragu Simply traditional sauce. And I actually sometimes use the things that are for pasta because it's pretty much similar. However, there's also these packets that are lighter that you could carry with you for this pizza. We're going to take some, what do you put on your pizza first, Rosie? The sauce?
Yeah.
Me too. So I got a spoon.
You're making pepperoni pizza homemade?
I should, well, most of the way homemade. So first we're going to put some sauce on there. You like a little or a lot sauce?
A little.
A little. I'm kind of in the middle. I like quite a bit of sauce. It gives it a nice foundation. And then, what do you usually put on after you put the sauce on? Do you put your meat on or do you put your cheese?
Cheese.
Okay. So I'm a little weird. I put a little dash of cheese on first. Then I put my pepperoni, and then I put a whole bunch of cheese on it.
I would do mini pepperoni. And
I
that's best for homemade.
what are you saying, Rosie?
Mini pepperoni.
Mini pepperonis. I have turkey pepperonis.
That's weird.
Not weird, it's different.
Turkey pepperonis today. They taste pretty much the same as regular to me, but so usually I'll put about 6 because you really don't you want a piece of pepperoni in every bite?
Yes.
I don't know about you, but
Mexican. Well, I don't really like pepperoni, so I don't really like pizza.
oh, you don't like pizza?
No.
Oh man. Ugh, that's crazy. Then I usually put a little bit of sauce to help it stick a little bit. I go whoop, 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 whoop. Little sauce here, and I spread it a bit. And then I take my cheese and I put quite a bit on the top because I like it to be not usually quite that much, but we'll go with that. But
Nothing wrong with too much cheese.
no, nothing. And then guess what I put on top?
More pepperoni.
More pepperoni.
Yeah, I put a few more pepperoni so we know what's in there. So then I'm done with my pizza. That was easy, right?
Do I have to cook it?
Yes, I have to cook it, but I'm done making it. So I put my lid back on, and then I take a spatula. And this, when you're outside, you can do in your cast iron. And you turn it on, and if you have a lid, then that would help with the melting the cheese. So make sure you don't burn it, so you gotta keep watching at it. I'm gonna put one of my other. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a little bit there. Then I'm gonna grab a plate. I'm fancy. I have some paper plates from the fall. And that's cooking. So we're ready for when it comes off. And then multitasking here. There we go.
How much slices can it cut into?
How many what?
How many slices can it cut into?
Well, you could do 4. It's like a mini pizza. And then I actually have started doing like 8 pieces. I take it and make them miniature ones. So that's what I've been doing lately.
Besides pepperoni, what's your favorite toppings, Miss Brittany?
What?
Besides pepperoni, what's your favorite toppings?
I like, this is actually two, but I'm pretty excited about green peppers and onions.
Yeah. We
Myself.
like pineapple on our pizza.
Ooh, interesting. I wonder,
What I did like.
people in the comments, tell us what your favorite pizza topping is, or if you like pineapple on your pizza. I'd like to hear some of those.
I like garlic butter with mine because I can't have tomato sauce. So I make my pizzas with garlic butter.
That sounds like awesome. Okay, so today, sometimes you can do multiple things for your salad. We're going to do our salad real quick. However, I'm going to do a little bit of the easier route, but I'm not going to cut my lettuce up. So I bought the bag lettuce today, but I think it's just as good as cutting it up. So I'm going to put some lettuce in there. And then let's see, what else should we put on our salad? Should we put some cheese on our salad? Rosie?
Huh?
Should we put some cheese on our salad?
Not a vegetable, but I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Gonna put a little cheese on our salad. And then we're gonna put some carrots maybe?
Carrots are yummy.
Ooh, yes.
I like carrots. And going to, they're baby carrots, but we're still gonna cut a few of them up, just so it does, so it's a little less of a bite. Put some of those in there, and then after that, we're going. What else do you think? Want some crunch? To a little bit of more crunch in there, just than the carrots.
Yeah, probably like cauliflower and broccoli.
Okay, I've got the broccoli. I don't have any cauliflower, but I could do some broccoli.
Some people like cucumbers.
And then how about some crispy onion straws?
I never had that.
They don't taste like onions. They kind of taste like
Funyuns? I like Funyuns.
yeah, they kind of taste like Funyuns. And then we'll do, you could also put some croutons in there if you would like instead, but we did the crispy onions instead. And you can put whatever in your salad you wanted. So now we have the salad, and we're going to toss it up a little bit.
While you're tossing your salad there, Brittany, we've got some favorite pizza toppings.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So the Quintons say lots of cheese, and definitely ham is the best pizza topping.
Ooh,
Mark Raphael says a cheese pizza, please. Julia says spam and pineapple is her favorite. And then Becky Dunn says green peppers and onions.
That's, you know, it's a family, yeah. Yes, does not fall far from my parents. Okay, so we tossed our salad. We have our pizza almost done. So let's put some salad on our plate right here. I get a little bit of everything. Put that on. I missed the plate a little bit. And then going to take our pizza and put it on here. Okay, so we have our pizza and our salad. You got that? Pull it back a little bit, please. There we go. So we've got our vegetable. What else do we have on this plate, Rosie?
Grain.
We have green?
Grain.
Grains, yes. And we have our protein and we have our dairy. So we have lots of different things on it. And then for we could have water, or we could do lemonade for drink. So, do you like dressing on your salads?
Yes.
I'm not a big dressing person. I actually like lemon juice on mine. What do you like on your salads?
Ranch. Mama likes a French dressing.
So we're gonna wrap up in just a minute, but for s'mores, let me grab my, come on over here with the phone for me. I'll bring you over here. So do you see all the different stuff I have for s'mores?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I'm gonna do with Chips Ahoy cookies or Reese's? Rosie?
I don't know. I've only had s'mores with marshmallows and Hershey's and fish crackers.
Well, we could use the normal graham crackers and chocolate, or we could take 2 cookies and put this marshmallow between those.
Ooh.
Or we could put, I like Reese's, I don't know about you, but you could also, instead of the regular milk chocolate, you could put a Reese's in between the graham cracker with the marshmallow. So maybe try that next time you go out camping. So we're gonna finish up with talking just a little bit about how you start a fire, because we didn't go outside today to start a fire, but when you're cooking outside, you're gonna want a fire, all right, Rosie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you need to start a fire?
Tingling.
Yep, you need, let's see, we're talking, do you need heat? The 3 things that you need to start a fire.
Tingling,
No,
heat,
Heat,
oxygen, and fuel.
fuel, perfect. So heat comes from matches and you build the fire slowly with, what did you try and say?
Tingling.
Kindling, tinder, and logs, right? Where does the oxygen come from?
Air.
Yep, so it's,
Also, you can blow on it.
not too aggressively, right?
No, that will blow it out.
Yeah, and then what's our fuel?
Our fuel is coal.
It could be coal, but usually we use wood, right?
Yeah.
Can it be dry? Can it be wet?
No.
And should it be brand newly chopped down?
No.
Oh, so you want dry, seasoned wood, right? It's your best method. So what is tinder?
Tender is when it like fires up fast.
Tinder is anything that burns as soon as you light. So it could be small twigs, dry leaves, pine needles, tree bark, wood shavings, paper, and even dryer lint. So you know that stuff that comes out of your dryer?
Yep.
That's considered tinder. What's kindling? Do you know what that is?
Kindling is bigger sticks.
So
Wow.
they're small sticks, no bigger than how big should they be? Not quite, the size of a pencil. So they're items that burn easily, but not as fast as tinder. And finally, our firewood, it lasts for a long time, right? It's larger logs. But you don't want huge ones either. They recommend no bigger than your wrist. Okay, can you tell me some fire safety?
Yes. Keep away from the fire unless you're cooking or something.
So you don't want to play around the fire, right? It's dangerous. You never want, and you always want to clear anything that could burn from an area.
Don't throw rocks into the fire.
Don't throw rocks. Don't put anything in there that shouldn't be in there.
Don't put plastic.
No plastic.
Plastic is okay though, as long as it's paper products.
Paper products. Should you ever leave it unattended?
No. And
Nah.
always you want to put the fire out before you go to sleep.
Yes. You can use water or sand or both, but you want to make sure you make sure it's not hot
Oh, yeah.
all the way out. Correct. So you need, in order to make a quick fire starter, do you know how to do that? You,
Paper towel roll.
you take a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll and you cut it in half, and you take your dryer lint, you put it inside, and then you take masking tape and you put it on each side, and that's a quick fire starter. So how do you start a fire? Do you just throw everything together, or is there a way to put the fire together?
There's a way to put the fire together. There's 3 different ways. You can put up like a teepee, you make it a box, and then like a house.
A log cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like logs.
So if you build a teepee, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the kindling or the tinder?
The tinder.
So actually, you start with the kindling. You make the little teepee, and then you can put the tinder inside the kindling,
Okay.
and then around that, the outside, you can put the fuel, the wood.
Yeah, because if you put I thought of it now. If you put the tinder in, and then the fire, then the kindling, you might burn yourself when you put the kindling on.
Yeah, well, yeah, the tinder catches on fire the fastest, right? So it catches on fire, and then it works its way out, and it catches everything else on fire. Is that all you have to do, or is there something else usually helps to start the fire? Once you have to light the tinder and then
Blow to make it blow up more.
to supply the oxygen.
Yep.
And then after that, you can add larger sticks and logs. And should you do this by yourself, or should you have somebody around?
Always.
Yes. How do you know when you're ready to cook? You know.
When the fire is ready.
When the fire burns down to its coals. It's kind of hard to cook over open flames. You can't really control the heat. So you have to wait and be patient until it burns down to the coals. So that's how you can use the coals, and with your Dutch oven, because you can control the heat by putting so many coals on your Dutch oven, on top and on bottom, so it can make like an oven. You know how you have heat coming radiating both on the top and the bottom of an oven? And then you can also cook your s'mores on there, your hot dogs on a stick, your pizza, a variety of things on your fire. So did you learn a little bit today, or did you know all that beforehand, Rosie? Some. Great refresher. So we had a great day. I'm really glad you were able to come on and have some fun with me. I learned a lot. I hope you guys did. Today we'll put up the information on what we did, so you can watch back and follow along if you'd like in the future. If you have any questions and comments, go ahead and comment below. We'll answer back. Well, have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you guys back tomorrow. We have a great Lion program, Gizmos and Gadgets, and also we have our Scout Zone service coming up too. So hopefully we'll see you then. Have a great night.
We have a couple comments saying thank you for all these sessions. Great job, everybody. And from the Glen Allen, Virginia, we had some folks that are very thankful for being able to watch along with you and get some great, yummy ideas for the Webelos Den.
Wonderful.
So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe. Bye-bye.